Single responsibility principle is the first principle of solid principles, and it seems to be the simplest one. But due to its ambiguity, many programmers don't understand what it really means and how to use it. So, today is the day that we finally learn what is the single responsibility principle. So, let's start with the definition of the single responsibility principle as stated by the man himself, Robert Martin. He says a class should have only one reason to change. So the ambiguity is here. What is the reason to change? What do we mean by the reason? This is what we are going to understand in this video. Now let's see what David Parnas said. He said, we have tried to demonstrate by these examples that it is almost always incorrect to begin the decomposition of a system into modules on the basis of a flowchart. We propose instead that one begins with a list of difficult design decisions or design decisions which are likely to change. Each module is then designed to hide such a decision from the others. So he was interpreting the reason to change as the design decisions which are likely to change. Let's see another definition. Gather together the things that change for the same reasons. Separate those things that change for different reasons. After a while, Robert Martin said, reason to change is about people, not code. I'll explain more on this later in this video. Now, why single responsibility? This is an example by Robert Martin. He says, imagine you took your car to a mechanic in order to fix a broken electric window. When you pick up your car, the window works fine, but the car won't start. Is this reasonable for you? Most probably not, because the window has nothing to do with the start of the car. So that mechanic was clearly an idiot. Now let's see an example. In this example, we have an email service. This is what we always do. In our email service, we have a send forgot password email method. It takes email address, username, and reset password link. So what's wrong with it? This method is creating the body of the email in the same place that it is sending that email. Sending of email is completely another task from the formatting of that email's body. So it is going to create that body like hello username, and this is your reset password link. Just ignore this email if you have not asked for it, and etc. So any change on the body of the message may accidentally result in the way we are sending that email, and it may break that operation. Do you remember the car window and the car's start? This is the same thing. So how do we fix this? It's simple. We create an email service class, and it has a method that only takes email address and message. So it has one job to do, sending email, and it has to do it well. We also create a formatter class, and we format messages inside that class. This method also has one job to do, and it has to do it well. Let's take a look at another example. Here we have a save person method. Pause the video for a second and think for yourself, what's wrong with this method? You probably have guessed right. This method is doing two separate things. It has two separate responsibilities. One is saving that person, and it's about the persistence. Also, it is responsible for logging any exception that occurs here. So this method wants to log, but it doesn't need to know the implementation. It is not its job. If we want to fix this problem, we can easily do it by just adding a logger class that has a log exception method and accepts an exception. Now the save person method doesn't know anything about the logging mechanism, and the responsibility is on the logger class. So now this method only has one responsibility. Now let's take a look at an example from Robert Martin. This is an example from his blog post that I will reference in the end of this video, and I'll also put the link in the description below. So we have an employee class, then it has three methods: calculate pay, save, and report hours. Each of these methods is the responsibility of the different people. Do you remember the reason to change was people, not code? So saving the person is the responsibility of a technical guy. He might ask for a change in persistence mechanism in future. The calculate pay is the responsibility of the accountant. They might ask for a change in the future, and the same goes with report hours. So any change on any of these methods may result a change on the other ones, and this may break the whole system. So none of these methods should be here. So what is the result of the single responsibility principle? What do we get by it? First is the maintainability. If everyone has one single responsibility, any change on that one won't result in change on the other ones, so we can maintain it very easily. Another one is that our codes become easier to understand and self-documented. The next one is reusability. Remember the logger class? Now we can use it everywhere. Also the email service, we can use that anywhere we want, and we don't need to create a method for every email that we want to send, like a welcome email method or a reset password method, and etc. We also get separation of concerns. Remember the saving mechanism and the report hours and the calculate pay, they are all different concerns. Check out this blog post by Robert Martin for further reading. If you learned anything from this video, please drop a like, and if you want to see more of these videos, subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell so you will be notified for the next videos. Until next time, adios amigos.